Yes, yes, yes. Good morning. Yay, it's time for another great week. Oh, this is so awesome. Another great week of crafting adventures with all of you, my friends. And we're going to be doing weeks the next couple weeks, themes. It's a theme. I want you to write a theme. Does anybody know that movie? What that's from? I want you to write a theme. One of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. Anyway, listen, hey, are you a kind of person that likes to give out little gifts and little treats like at all of the holidays? I wasn't always that way, but I kind of developed into it in my latter working days, and then also when my son went to school. And I have now developed sort of a cookie following, and I love to make cookies, and especially at Christmas, we have the corgi sugar cookies that I always make. We have this pecan sandies. It's kind of hard to say that because it's like pecan sandies. Sondies. I think this should be Saunders. Anyway, I make these great cream cheese butter cookies, and that kind of all started way back when I was working in a call center. I was a supervisor in a call center, and every Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, was a huge day for us. And so to motivate people to come to work on the day after Thanksgiving, this is way back before they had, the call centers you could call somebody's house. It was Black Friday basically, and because it wasn't as advanced as like FedEx, blah blah blah. Everybody would have to work early in the season if you wanted to get your Christmas boxes. This is pre-Amazon, right? So to encourage everybody to come in, I would bring in either little treats or whatever. So that's kind of how it started, and now it's just a tradition that I always do. Owen loves gingerbread. He's a huge fan of gingerbread, and I make my gingerbread very old-fashioned way that I learned from Martha Stewart way 20 years or more ago, where it was in her Christmas book. Anyway, what do you do with all these things? I mean, you can't eat them all, so you have to give them away, right? And so what I have developed is a number of different things that I like to use for putting our stuff into stuff. So some of these things are free. Some of them are in Design Space. There's bags, there's boxes, and there's sort of box bags. I don't know, but they'll fit all the different things: cookies, Buckeyes, or rum balls, or whatever else you like. You make that saltine toffee or whatever. These are really just kind of fun things to do, and having them done ahead of time for me was the sort of pièce de résistance, because I was like, where do I put them all? So I made these cookie bags because it's perfect for about a dozen cookies, depending on the size. And that's the other thing that I did, was I changed the size of these files. Just because you get a file that's free doesn't mean you can't just, let's say you're looking at it and you're going, I only like this element. Right? No. You can change something or add something, take away, and come up with your very own project from a free file, just as you can with Design Space. So today's project is a cookie bag that's free from our friends over at Dreaming Tree. Dreaming Tree, if you're not familiar, is a website, one of many websites that makes projects for you to use on your Cricut, your Silhouette, Brother, your Romeo, Juliet, from Caesar and other places. And so, yeah, these are really fun. And the people at Dreamy Tree are so darn generous because they've given us so many SVG files, and because you can sort of mix them or max them, they don't have to just be for Halloween or for Christmas or for Valentine's Day. So so you know, a couple of our projects are going to come from here. The big project this week, which is going to be this, it is a cookie box. I find this cookie box to hold about 24 cookies, and it's beautiful, and it looks gorgeous even after all the cookies are gone. But it has a beautiful acetate front, and it's very sturdy. You're not looking at something, you know, because it's almost all double lined and everything else. I've actually changed this one around as well for during the year, that when I want to give cookies, and I just use my patterned paper and take out the snowflakes portion. You'll notice that a couple of the files that we're going to be doing, including today's file, which is this cookie bag, has a acetate, like a little like see-through, peek-through kind of thing. I don't know what you call that, but it's a window, type of window. You don't need to use acetate, but today I'm going to show you how to cut it on your Cricut. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do after we say good morning to everybody, good morning, good morning. Hi, everybody. Wow, a lot of people this morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new, please jump on the chat. We've got the best people on this chat. And we've got at the head is Loretta. She's the one that kind of moderates the comments and encourages everybody, and she's like my sidekick, you know. She puts all those things like about, you know, where you can find files and stuff like that, and then we've got people from all over just commenting, saying hello, and telling us where they're from and asking questions. And this is just a perfect synergy. So if you're on the live, ask questions if you have them. There are people here helpful, very, very helpful. And then I don't have to take, oh, thank you, Deborah. Nice to see you, Deborah. We've become friends. All of these people have become my friends, and I just really love them so much. And I would want you to be part of that. So if you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. So today we're going to be going into Design Space. Let's go here, and we're going to just go to the canvas, okay? So I've got a nice fresh, do I have a nice fresh canvas? No. I'm going to go up here and do new. All right. Now you'll notice when we go over to where we're getting the original file from, which is 3dsvg.com, Dreaming Tree, Leo and his gang of creative people over there have put up all of these freebie files, which you can find from their homepage under free SVG files right there. And this is on page 7. And you'll see I have a little banner and it says owned. Okay, so I will not be able to go through and process an order for something that I already own. So since I am logged in, I'm going to go up here to my account. All right, and then to the left, downloadable products. Now, I have to remember what the name of this file is, because it's alphabetical. Okay, I don't know. Somebody's dog walking around out there. Oh, okay, if you're new, by the way, I have 2 dogs, and they're loud, but they don't often bark too much. Hey, 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 stop that. Conyo, stop. Okay. I have to treat you to get you to stop. All right. Yeah, they want their little Treatos. No, really, they were looking at yeah, you know, I never thought of it, but if you wanted to make dog cookies and put it in this bag, you could certainly do that. And you could use any kind of like dog paper that you have. I find this is a fun project to use up all your patterned paper. Very simple project. Okay, so here it is. You see this cookie bag, free SVG. I'm going to download it right here. Once I download it, I'm going to head on over to my downloads file just because I like to see that it's gotten downloaded. And woo-wee, there's my downloads. So here it is, Cookie Bag, 3dsvg.com. We can open up the PDF and you'll see that here there's a circle. I'm going to talk about this, but there's a circle for acetate, and then you've got these cute little elements, and then the 2 pieces of the bag. I found when you're doing bags and boxes, if you want to go ahead and like make it smaller or bigger based on whatever your need is, having the bag into 2 pieces is so much better. Now with the Venture, if like you wanted to do even bigger bags, but this does a pretty good size bag when you go ahead and do it. You'll notice that we have just a few elements here. So we're going to go to Design Space and we're going to do Upload, and then we'll do Upload Image. And here we will choose Browse, and we can either go here and find it, or we can go to my downloads and find it. So here, Cookie Bag, SVG, and you'll see there's the acetate element. I'm going to talk about that in a second. We should have a little contest about cookie. Wait. What's going on here? Hello? What's going on here? I got to go back to upload. Upload images, browse. All right. Now, you guys, it is a little bit difficult with uploading his files, the Dreaming Tree files, because you have to do each by individual. I don't know why this is not showing up. I just did. Why aren't you showing up? Hey. Okay, not sure. Well, anyway, this is what you would do. Go to your downloads, find your download, Cookie Bag, go to the SVG portion. You see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So here's the main piece. Let's go ahead and open that up. Yeah, I'm having a little trouble with uploads today. So we're going to pretend like we don't have trouble with uploads. And I'm just going to go and open. Oh, maybe I have to do this. Oh, yeah. I have to update my. Do you leave your Design Space open? I do. And probably not the best idea. But whenever they have an update, I have to log back in. Okay, and they're telling me I have the wrong email. Oh, I know why, because I put 2 dots here. All right, let's try that. Sign in. And maybe there was an upload that needed doing. Yes. Is it going to make me do it again? Oh, my God. Blah. Design Space, you suck. Sorry. I am missing the new update, I guess, but I'm stuck in a bit of a loop. So I think what I have to do is get out and go back in. Now, if this happens to you, please be patient. I shouldn't be a person. I shouldn't have my Design Space open all the time. And that's what I did. So now I'm going to go to my applications and I'm going to look for Design Space. I could also go to my Launchpad if I wanted to do that. Launchpad, and then I'm going to go to Cricut, and I might have to log back in again. No, trouble logging in. Please try again using the having trouble. Now, it's kind of weird because it says it's installing updates, and then yet it's not. Yeah. All right, let's see what happens. Sometimes it surprises you. Anyway, while we're waiting for that to happen, let's come down here and have a look at what we've got going on. So here is the medium-sized cookie bag. Yeah, I'm having trouble. It's working on it. So this is a medium-sized cookie bag. And you notice it has kind of a cute little, I don't know what they call that. A divot, a wedge, a pleat, maybe? Pleat in the bag, so it looks really cute, like a cookie bag. And this one I did very Christmassy. This one's kind of a what do you call this? When retro with these colors, pink and green. And then this is from a very standard. I like to make this using my pattern paper. So where do you get pattern paper? Well, Cricut used to sell pattern paper, but they don't anymore. If they do, it might be like designer stuff like Disney and such. So I go to Michael's a lot, or I have gone to Michael's a lot, or sometimes I order online. And they have these paper pads. They're not the best value as good of value as they used to be. However, they are a pretty good value. So this is called a hot buy. You'll see it has it used to have a sticker. Now it's like printed on there. So they make these for crafters like us at the season, and they're usually, they used to be like $5. Sometimes you get them even cheaper, but they have a sort of a hodgepodge of different kinds of paper in here. I like, obviously, because I'm working with my Cricut, I like to use something that's a solid, like, pattern. I'm not too keen on using things like this because these are intended for something else. These are intended more like gift tags, which you could put gift tags on these if you wanted to, and you got some paper, or they're also for scrapbooking. And sometimes there are things that you could actually look at that. So there's something you could actually put in a 12 by 12 frame, and you have an instant decoration, which I'm all for that. Especially if you're just getting started, you just want something to put up in your hallway, or maybe there's just a missing piece or whatever. Anyway, so that's what we're going to need. We're going to need 2 sheets of a patterned paper for any of the sized paper. So we're going to need 2 sheets, and I actually have these that I have not cut out, which I was going to cut out. And then you're going to need some complementary colors. So this was red and green that I got from Michael's, but the 8.5 by 11 solid. Now you're also going to need this if you want to do the window. So the window is made of acetate, so you can see. So it looks really professional. The only thing that's different here is that I changed the circle to a square just for application purposes. And I think my design space is working now. So let's sign in and I can show you how I did that. Why am I having problems signing in? I don't know, you guys. Okay, here I am. All right, so let's go back here so you can see. All right, so here are all my projects, and I'm going to go to this project. It's called 3D SVG Cookie Bag. All right, and I'm going to go to Customize. Now, this means that I've already uploaded all the pieces for the bag, and I want to show you a couple of tricks here that I've done. So I'm going to actually I'm going to hide these other sizes. We'll just work with the medium size, okay? So this is a medium, and small, medium, large, extra large I came up with, okay? So this is the medium one. Let's have a look at what's in there. We're going to ungroup, and you'll see that we've got our little pieces, and there are little embellishment pieces, and here is our acetate. Now when you upload everything, you're going to have a circle for the acetate, so all you need to do really is to go over to shape and pick a square just like this, and make sure it is the size of the circle. Because this goes inside of the bag, you don't really see it, but it's better to put it on. It's easier to put it on when it's shaped like a square. Okay, so that's my first tip. The second tip is, what if I don't want this as this size bag? What if I want to do a smaller bag? Now, once you're already gone ahead and attached all these cut lines, these dash cut lines, what you're going to do, you're going to make sure all your pieces are separate, you see, and you got your little doohickeys there. And then we're going to grab all those pieces. We're going to do align center. And you'll see right here, the width is 8.2 and the height is quite almost 10. So we've got something to work with, because we can do on all of our machines, the Explorers, the Makers, yeah, all of those machines, you can have one of your measurements, whether it's your width or your height, you can make up to 11.5 inches. So in this case, we have almost 10 inches. I'm going to just group it together. And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to start working with the height, because that's the highest one. So there is my large size bag, you see? And let's see, we'll unpack that. Now, if you want to do like I did, what I would suggest, let's go back before I went ahead and changed the size. Okay, so here's it. So what I would do is align center and then group, and then from there I would duplicate and keep this as my sort of my standard size. And then I could start playing around with this size, and I can go smaller or I can go as large as 11.5. Okay, 11.5. Yeah, and then as far as the acetate goes, let's come down here, because that was another thing I wanted to tell you about. Acetate, depending on where you buy it. Now this I bought at, this I've had forever, because it was on sale and I bought too many of them, right? And it was quite expensive before it was on sale, but in this case I got it. It was cheap. I think like $5. Now you'll get this acetate whether you get it at Michael's. Cricut used to sell it, but I don't think that they do. But it is quite thin, and it probably doesn't look as sparkly as you think it should. And that is because it has a film, a protective film over it. So let's go ahead and get our weeding tool, because I find this to be the easiest. And we're going to look at the corner of this acetate. Here it is. I can see it. I don't know if you can see it. You see that? So I'm using my little weeding tool to sort of figure out where is that film. I think it's up here. So I'm going to try to just, yeah, here we go. So see, there's the film like that. Now you want to remove this film before you go ahead and cut it, because otherwise it will not cut well. There is a very special, button called acetate, which I will come here and show you. Oh yeah, it was on sale. They were having a big sale. So let's go here. We're going to just hide this. How do we hide it? Group. Okay, so now if we're going to make one bag, you'll see here that there's this, which they're indicating is gold, but you make it your own, right? And then here's our acetate square. And then here are our two pieces of bag. And then there's our little doohickeys. And you don't have to do the doohickeys, by the way. So when I hit continue, and I get to the acetate, this one here, the square, the blue square, I am going to go to browse all materials. That's smart, Eugene. And I can either type in acetate, or I can go to, I think it might be under other or possibly plastic. Let's have a look. So it's not under other. So let's try under plastic. Yes, it is. So under plastic, you have acetate. Now, if you don't, and you cannot find acetate anywhere, you can also use the mat. The mat, see this cutting mat protector? That's what I used when I was, when I couldn't find acetate. I used the cutting mat, and it worked like a charm. You'll also see here foil acetate. You know, Cricut does sell or has sold foil acetate. What that means is that on top of the acetate is a foil design. So you can maybe pick up some of that either in the store or whatever. So that's all of my like pre-construction comments. Just don't forget to take off this film, otherwise it won't cut very well. I will also tell you, I do put masking tape on my mat when I'm cutting acetate, because there's no greater annoying sound than the acetate getting chewed up by your machine. It does happen. So it's a fun thing to work with. You can make whole boxes out of acetate if you wanted to, but I like doing it this way. All right, we don't need this anymore. So let's go ahead and put together our bag. This is actually the large. I think I cut this on large, and so you see how beautifully big this is going to be. I did this gold paper, and now all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold along all of the dashed cut lines. Okay, now the tough one here is this. You have to sort of like kind of finagle it a little. Oh, hey, speaking of weird words, last night, yesterday I went to see Barbie movie, which I was really surprised at the message of the movie. I was just really, really surprised. And I loved it. It was really great. I thought it was just going to be, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. So fantastic. Nope. There's a whole message about women and, young girls growing up and the ideals that placed on us and things like that. And also I love, obviously who doesn't love Ryan Gosling, but the one that I didn't even know was in it was America. What's her last name? America. You know her. She's played in the Sisterhood of the Travis. She played Ugly Betty. America something. Anyway, Ferrera. Her name is America Ferrera. Yeah, thanks, Loretta. And she was in the movie, and I just like her because she's just like so ordinary. Like, the girl that played Barbie and Ryan Gosling, they're all beautiful women, people, whatever. But America is kind of like I don't know, just like every person type of thing. Anyway, so I'm going to use this glue today because I have found if I use double stick tape, it does not work and it comes apart, and then whatever's in the bag falls out. Okay, so you need something that's going to be good, and I'm using gold paper, so I wanted to try this reptile glue. This came to me as from my friend Eileen, EIEIO, who lives in Jupiter, Florida, and she told me that she switched to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. Now this isn't in a very fine tip container, so I'm going to use my fingers. I'm going to get down right here into that because I really want it to stay, and I really want it to be level so that it closes up nice. All right, so there's my glue, and then I'm just matching it to the second piece here, and we're just going to let it sort of move around in there. So yeah, I remember, this is how old I am, okay, I'm giving away my age, but I remember doing a psychology paper on the negative effects of Barbie on women and women in the society, and I think I was rather convincing. So anyway, but now that there was a young girl there that was saying, oh, it's bad, it's this and this and this, and then they argued the opposite, and it's just really kind of interesting. Plus the colors and the costumes, yay, right? Yeah, she's relatable. Right. Okay, so here I have these pieces together. While I'm waiting for this to dry, I'm going to take my square of acetate, clean it off because it got all dirty. Could, why'd it get so dirty? And then what I'm going to do is put double stick tape on that inside of the square. All right. I'm trying to get close to the edge, but I did make my square big enough because I took that piece of hole and then I just made it bigger, okay? Because I didn't, if I put that, just that circle there and maybe tried to do double stick tape or glue around there, it would pop off. So this is why I did it this way. I did it as a square using the double stick tape, and it's going to stay in there pretty nice as long as you press it on very well. Okay, and so I'm using my weeding tool. What's the other thing I want to tell you? Oh, so my sister, before we went to the movies, she called me and she said, "What's your favorite candy?" And I immediately said Junior Mints because I love Junior Mints. And then I said, oh, "No, what about, do they have Goobers?" And she said, "I don't know, I'll look," because she goes to, like, I don't know, Target or the dollar store, and she smuggles in, and she's so funny because I'm sure everyone does this, but she's like, she's so like, don't get your big purse, and you know, don't look at them when you're walking by. I don't know. She's frugal. She's super frugal. All right, so see how I put that in on the back? So now you have this really nice treat holder, see-through part here. And then I'm going to put these little tidbits on. So there is going to go there. I think that's going to look cute. And then this is going to go here. And then these three pieces I'll show you after we do this part. Now this, we want to avoid getting glue on the acetate. So let's just kind of move it out of the way while we glue it. And we don't need to necessarily use this glue, but let's use this. Junior Mints. Oh man, I love Junior Mints. Yeah, Junior Mints. Okay, here's one that they used to make. I don't know if they even make them anywhere, but they make something called Boston baked beans, but they're really just those French burnt beans kind of thing. But when I was a kid, oh man, loved Boston baked bean candy. Not necessarily the bean part. Although I did like the bean. So anyway, Boston baked bean. And then when I got home, I decided I wanted to watch Pee Wee Herman. And I watched one on Netflix that he had fairly recently done, because everything else is pretty old. And it was like Pee Wee's Big Adventure or something like that. It was really cute. And of course, kind of like his first Pee Wee's movie, like he gets into all these entanglements and he's trying to go across the United States. The first movie, he tried to go to the Alamo just to see if the Alamo had a basement, which it does not. And I remember reading something about when that movie came out, after that, when people went to the Alamo, they asked, is there a basement in the Alamo? Which I thought was hilarious, like that a movie would have that much influence. But it did. So be surprised how these little things like toys and such influence us. Okay, so these two pieces I figured out after I did one the wrong way, but they go right here. Again, it's not necessary for you to put them on if you're making dozens and dozens of cookie bags because you have, I don't know, school or church or something to go to. Then you may decide, you know, I'll just let the paper do the talking, and that just makes it, you know, kind of fun. All right, so this, I think, is the way that this is going to go on. Let's see, try this way. Yeah, that one's better. Okay, so we're putting it on the flap, which, see, I turned it around on the flap. Now, if you are seriously making, boop, if you are seriously making these and you're going to be like doing a giant cookie giveaway or whatever you're doing, then I would suggest you skip the last point until it comes to be the holiday, whatever holiday, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, I don't know, Hanukkah, whatever. Skip the next part, and you can fold these flat and leave them flat until you're ready to put them together. Now, there is one piece that goes on the inside, and I am going to show you how to put it together, but if you're going to make a bunch, just trust me on this. Take this little piece and put it in here, and then just pile them up like this. This way they're not hanging around in your dining room like they were with mine all last year. Okay, so now we're ready to put cookies in them. So we're going to close it up. We're going to make sure we put nice thick glue here on the ends. All right, and let's see. Spread that around. This is probably the only time I would advocate using a little too much glue, and then wipe off your finger. I usually have like a rag here, but I don't. Leo puts like a rag underneath his desk. I don't know if you're watching his videos, check it out when he's putting something together. He's always putting his hand under his desk to wipe off the glue, which I think is hilarious. He's so smart. Okay, so then we're going to just kind of give this a second to set. And you see how flat it is? So you could get up to this point if you wanted to. Just flatten it out. And then, oh, all the cookies are coming out. So we're going to close the bottom here. Going to just put some glue on these 3 tabs. Don't need it on the big flap. Okay. So actually, let's do this. If you don't like glue, liquid glue, some people don't like it. You can try double stick tape and just be real careful about pressing down, but honestly, liquid glue is the best thing for this particular project. So there we go. The other glues would probably work too, by the way, the ones that you guys might be using, the glitter glue, art glitter glue, scrapbook.com has their own glue, right? Okay, so we're going to, this is a little tricky, we're going to try to put it on its the wrong side up, and then we're going to close it like this, and we have to square it off. Make sure it's nice and squared off. So, which is why the liquid glue is great, because you can kind of move things around a little bit like this. You see, I want to square it off nice. Now, once you feel like it's stuck, this over here is not, you can flip it around, and then you have to take something long. I have this, and I'm going to press down. Make sure that that seam is in there real good. Real good. And it's not. Ah! This happens, folks, so don't worry. I think because of the kind of glue, the kind of paper I'm using, it's a real special paper, so I did not have this problem with just regular patterned paper, because you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's what being patient's all about. And I'm reaching my hand in and trying to form it that way. Man, come on, you. This It's just this corner it doesn't want to take. All right. Of course, because we're live, it's not going to do it right. You know the scheme, okay? So there it is. It's not quite shored up, like squared off, but it's giving me some problems. So this is the bigger one of two. Anyway, so, and then this piece will go into the bottom and will also help with those flaps, okay? So just put that in there and it will help hold those flaps in. But might take a minute or two for the what am I trying to say? Might take a minute or two for the glue to catch. Then all is needed is our cookies. And I did put cookies in here without putting tissue last year, and they seemed okay. But if most cookies are high in fat, so it's probably a good idea to use a little bit of tissue in there. Okay, so then you close it and you see you have these two little holes. So what I did here was I used a really thick twine, but the other one, where's the other one? I did with ribbon. I don't think it really much matters. Let me, oh, here it is. Okay. So this one I did with that very thin ribbon. As far as the twine is concerned, let me show you this. So there's the twine. It's called Cherry Twist, I think, but it's red and green and white. I bought this as nice and thick, right? I bought this at justartifacts.com. It's really inexpensive, and you get this whole big thing, and they have all different colors. They have pink, green, purple, any color you want, black, whatever. And I just have it for a long time unless my dog gets to it and tries to chew it, and then it messes it up. And then as far as the thin ribbon goes, that's this. I used to call this curling ribbon, but it's not curling ribbon. It's just plain old ribbon that you get at Christmas time. And this is the best one to buy, if you ask me, because you get all 4 different colors. However, when you start opening it up, it does get everywhere. So you got to kind of keep that in tow, or the cat will get it. But anyway, so let's go ahead and take some twine for this. And we need some scissors. Yeah, I have to be careful because not only does my cat come over here, but the dogs like it around, and my son, who's kind of like a crafter himself in his own way, will come and steal things from me, and I'm like, where are those scissors? Those are my favorite scissors, kind of thing. All right, so we're just going to fold it like that. We're going to take the twine and we're going to put it through the back and then up through the back. If you want to make it real tight, you can do it again like that. Sometimes it does get this way. So what I do usually is I usually use a needlepoint needle to close them up. But you don't have to do that. This what I'm going to do is put it in for a second time just to kind of really get it nice and close. Keep those cookies fresh. There's nothing nicer than receiving a homemade cookie bag of cookies. I don't know. I just somebody taking the time making me homemade anything, I'm never going to complain. So, okay, so there is, when you do it twice around, and then you can just you can do a little loop if you want. And this, cute, right? All right. Now, tomorrow, if we have that opportunity, let's just cut these here. Okay, so there is the twine, and this one is the ribbon. But you see what I mean? Now I've got these 3 here that I'm going to use at Christmas. I got to figure out a way where to put them. what, you know? And so, I don't know, maybe I'll put them in a paper bag, a larger paper bag, like sort of stacked this way, which I would rather just have them be flat, and then when it comes time, we have the flat one. But it is what it is. All right, now tomorrow we are going to be doing a really cute box from Design Space. Right. Yeah, Tara, right? Don't they all, the kids come and like, do you have safety pins? Do you have this? Do you have this? My son, and then like he loves that True Control knife, so he does that a lot. So I bought him his own. But of course he lost it, right? All right, so yes, I want to cancel the cut, and I'm going to cancel. Now tomorrow, so there's my 3D cookie bag. Gonna save it. And then I'm going to go to my stuff, and then I'm going to do this. It's a small gift box. It does have a little embellishment of joy. And I have made this, I hope. I want to make sure that I made this. Yes, it's public in Design Space, and I will add a picture so that you can see it. But it's basically a very small box for things like maybe like macaroons, truffles, like the Buckeyes or rum balls. It's a really cute little box. It can be expanded, but I found this size to be really good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use craft board for the bottom of the box. And craft board's kind of cool because it's got a little, it's thicker for sure. You could probably use poster board too, but I like craft board. So I'm going to use craft board, and it's thicker and it's kind of coated. So if you're putting something in there that's really greasy, you may not need to line the bottom, but whatever. Yes, the best gifts are homemade. So this week it's all about containers for all of those beautiful handmade things that we make at Christmas. Today we started off with the cookie bag. Tomorrow we're going to do this small gift box. And either Wednesday or Thursday we're going to be going to SVG Cuts and doing this this cookie box. It comes in, I don't know if you can buy it separately. I hope that you can, because some of these other things maybe not so useful. Like this came out when everybody was getting a Keurig. And so you can make these little Keurig type things with this set. It's called Christmas Cafe SVG Kit. But I don't know, sometimes she does have different things that are separate, but it's not always. So I don't kind of see it here. And I really love this box. So worth it, even though the rest of that thing wasn't useful too much for me. But it's called, again, Christmas Cafe SVG Kit. It's $7. And believe me, if you are a cookie maker, you want this cookie box because it's like a large presentation box. Really cool. Okay, and then next week is all about joy. We're going to be in the joy mood. We're going to be so joyful next week. We're going to do all joy projects. We're going to do all the different things you can do on joy, because I don't think some of the people there's not a lot of joy content out there. I don't know why, but there's, it's a great little machine. So we're going to do things like we're going to do car decals with smart vinyl. We're going to do some iron-on. We'll touch on insert cards, though I know you guys are kind of like, we're beyond insert cards kind of thing. But anyway, and you have your haunted, and the nutcracker. Which nutcracker? This nutcracker, Cheryl? This one? You've had it cut out and you've not put it together? We probably should do that. I'm not a huge fan of nutcrackers, I'll be honest with you. I find the teeth kind of scary. But I might just be going to see the nutcracker this year. I wanted to go see Hamilton, but it's not playing in town, so I'd either have to go to New York City to watch it. I really want to see it. So, but okay, so the answer was thumbs up on Barbie movie if you are really into a woman-centered message, and some really bright pink, backdrops, really, really cute. And so there's that. And then make sure you get some acetate, because the acetate is used also in this box that we're doing at SVG Cuts. And also tomorrow for this little treat box. It's really, it's not really for cookies. At least not my cookies. My cookies are kind of big. This is smaller for things that you might make that are small, like truffles. That's what I can think of. So anyway, that's all I have for you for today. I thank you so, so much. Oh, just to give you an update, I'm on my way to, first of all, Tom becoming, he's my physical therapist, and I'm doing better. I'm walking around. I walked with the walker to the movie theater, and we used all the handicapped, door and all of that stuff. And that was perfect. They had those big seats you sit back in, and we ate popcorn and laughed, and it was fun. It was just my sister and I. And I was kind of tired, but I'm also taking iron now, and I'm off my high blood pressure medicine. So I'm feeling a little more invigorated, but I know it takes a while for the iron to build up. So let's hope that happens. And I'm on my way. Oh, you're not a Barbie fan? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, nutcrackers are weird looking for me. I don't know. Anyway, all right, that's it. I'm just blah, blah, blahing now. I'll see you all tomorrow when we're going to work on this Joy gift box. Small. You can find it in the community. If you can find me, my profile is listed under Miss Rita to the Rescue, and you'll see it right here. It's a Joy gift box, small. And we'll be going over it. And again, if you dig up your craft board, because we're going to make these using craft board. All right, everyone, take care. We'll see you again tomorrow. You're welcome, Louise. Thanks. Bye, everyone.